Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for checking out another edition of Dead End Sports. We like to call this the best couple of hours of your sports week. Thank you for tuning in. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Again, we want to thank you for subscribing, downloading. Be sure to pass the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like I said, we have a good time around here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. This is the NFL preview, and it's going to be hot and heavy, and we're going to drop science on you this week. Of course, I will not be doing this podcast alone. Joining me are the homies. My man Beezy, 430. What up, though?
What up, though? Happy Labor Day weekend. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all Labor Day weekend and all that other good stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I was in Dallas. I was visiting my sister for the holidays.
Okay.
Back in town. I got today off work and tomorrow, so I'm
nice.
Little short work week, and I get to chill out and relax and stuff, man. So yeah, you ready for some football? Just got finished doing a draft with Ken, so ready for some football to kick off this Thursday.
No doubt. And the homie Ken is in the building. Ken, what up, man?
Chilling, man. Much like B, I was out of town this weekend. Was in Hilton Head, getting chased by gators.
Nice. What? You saw a gator for real?
Yeah, man. Check the IG.
Okay, yeah.
I was right on the bank.
Okay.
So the house we stayed had like a little fishing pond, lake or whatever, creek or whatever it was in the back. So when I got back from biking, I went out there, and then he was just right there, like peeping up, just looking at me. And then he just that's all I heard.
What?
And what he did was, it didn't really sound like that. Y'all know what a gator sounds.
But still,
but
ghosts.
What he did was, I guess he got tired of us looking at it, so he opened his mouth, yelled, and went back under the water. But what I saw was him open his mouth, yell, and come on land and started running after me. That's what I saw. That's not what happened, but that's what I saw. So I was out. I was like, oh, it was like three of us. I was like, oh, snap, and I was just gone, man. I beat everybody to the house, and I may and may not have locked the door behind and left everybody else outside.
Did you grab your kids? That's all I want to know.
They were not out there, so
cool. My Labor Day wasn't as eventful. I stayed here in the A, man, watched a lot of college football and chill, man. They just kicked with the family. I ain't do too much. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. The homie FIFA will be on the way. Of course, this is the NFL preview. If you've been down with Dead End Sports from day one, you know that the week before the season starts, we give our predictions. We talk about the NFL in general. And, it's interesting because we've said on previous podcasts that, realistically, the NFL really hasn't been the talk of the sports world. It's been kind of relatively on the back burner, when you think about the NBA and then more here recently, the Major League Baseball. But the NFL is back. The season kicks off this coming Thursday with the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots taking on the Kansas City Chiefs on NBC. Good luck to everybody out there in the Dead End Sports Fantasy leagues, and if you're in a fantasy football league, make sure that you set your draft, because those Thursday night games tend to always slip up. We got notification that earlier today with the incoming Hurricane Irma that the Dolphins, who are the Dolphins playing? The Dolphins are playing somebody in Miami, and the game has been postponed. They're not sure if they're going to move it to another location or if they're going to try to play later on in the season. So, so you want to adjust your fantasy schedules. Speaking of fantasy football, real quick,
they telling you in Miami, they telling you to evacuate. Please evacuate.
Yeah, evacuate.
That's like a Category 5 right now.
It's no joke. And I mean, we saw and I apologize. I didn't realize it until after we finished last week that we forgot to mention our thoughts and prayers are with the people of South Texas and Houston. What they had to deal with and still currently dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. And just let everybody know. I don't know if we have any. I'm pretty sure we have listeners out there. You're definitely in our prayers. For those of you, if you decide to donate or give, make sure that you do it the right way and find nice charitable places to donate and give. Yeah, with that being said, like B said, there's evacuations being put in order for the state of Florida. It's already been declared a state of emergency. So I'm pretty sure this Miami game is not going to be played this weekend. But on the fantasy side, please set your rosters because the season does kick off this Thursday in prime time with Brady and the crew taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's start right there, man. NFL, man. B, what teams are you looking forward to seeing? Team or teams that you're looking forward to seeing this season, and why?
Looking forward to seeing Pittsburgh because you have Montavious Bryant. I think he's got a 1-game suspension, but after that, he's healthy as far as we know, 100% healthy, ready to go. So I want to see what Ben gonna do with now. He gonna have his other go-to guy on the other side of the field, and Montavious Bryant, and Le'Veon Bell is gonna be 100%. No suspension, no 4-game suspension coming into the season. He got paid, got his franchise tag, so he got his money. So interesting to see what Pittsburgh is going to do. Plus, I'm always rooting for Tomlin, man. You got to root for the brother, man. Got to root for him. Another squad I'm looking forward to seeing is who else? Kind of Atlanta. Not to just because I live here, but just to see how are they mentally drained or mentally motivated. That's what I want to see out of Atlanta with these first 3 to 4 weeks of this season. It's really kind of, usually I always say the first 2 weeks of the regular season is kind of like an extension of the preseason. Just got the starters playing. But I kind of want to see where Atlanta head is at, because after losing the lead, we all know about losing the lead like that in the Super Bowl. Sometimes it can motivate you, or it can just suck the life out of you, and we won't see Atlanta get to this level again. So I really want to see. I'm interested to see how Atlanta's going to hold up with this after the Super Bowl loss hangover. I think that's it. I mean, as far as them just the teams. I mean, my Lions. I'm not concerned with my Lions. We probably won't even make the playoffs if that. So I'm not looking forward to seeing that football, even though I'm gonna probably go still see them some point.
That was gonna be my next question. Are you gonna?
I'm gonna go see them. I still gotta support. I gotta ride or die. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, Pittsburgh and Atlanta, and I'm sorry, one more, and Oakland Raiders. I'm interested to see what Oakland do, because unfortunately Derek Carr got hurt at the wrong time of the year, because we all know Oakland Raiders was rolling into the playoffs, man. They was looking. We was predicting them to compete with the Patriots for the AFC Championship. And it's just unfortunate that Derek Carr got injured. Now you got Beast Mode back there playing in his hometown. So yeah, Oakland, that was another team. So yeah, that's Atlanta. Who I said? Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and Oakland. Them the squads I'm looking forward to really checking out.
True indeed. What about you, Ken? Who are you looking? What team or teams are you looking forward to seeing this year?
All right, so for me, man, I'm kind of going in a little bit in the opposite direction of B. I'm looking forward to seeing the New York Jets. And I know
why
that sounds odd, but I just refuse to believe that they're going to be as bad as they're probably really going to be. I'm just curious, man. It's just gonna be like watching a traffic accident. So I just gotta watch this, because they have absolutely nobody at quarterback and at receiver, and so I just gotta see that. And the other team that I'm looking forward to seeing play this year, where are they? The Cleveland Browns, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
See what? Yeah, man. You know what? We know what the good teams are gonna do. I want to see how bad are the bad teams.
Right. How bad are the bad teams?
Yeah. So let's see what this. Because they have some talent on that Browns team. So let's see what Hugh Jackson does. Let's see what Kaiser does. Now that they've gotten rid of Brock Osweiler, Corey Coleman, will he, break out this year? Can he stay healthy? They still have a pass catcher running back in Duke Johnson and Isaiah Crowell. So let's see what they do. And I'm with B on Marshawn. Well, on Oakland, but I just want to see what Marshawn does. And let's see. I want to see what Dalvin Cook does. What he does in what he'll do in Minnesota. He was one of my favorite. I liked him a lot when he played in college. So that'll be interesting for me. And I guess the last team for me would be real quick. I'm on Deshaun Watson watch in Houston.
Okay.
So and the last one is of course Tampa Bay. I want to see what Winston does with all the weapons he has, and can he take it to the next level. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I echo some of the same teams that you said. First and foremost for me is Tampa. I think Tampa is one of those teams, and I got a chance to see them on Hard Knocks. But even last year, I said, this team isn't that far away. And they came on strong at the end of the season last year, and they barely missed the playoffs. But I think this is a team that, defensively is scary. They're a little banged up and not as strong on the back end, but that front seven is as good as any front seven you'll see in the NFL. So I'm interested to see how they can, what the next step is for them. Not really sold on Dirk Cutter as a coach, so we'll see. I like when Lovie Smith was there, but they got rid of the brother. But yeah, I think Tampa's going to be one of the teams that I'm looking forward to seeing. I got a chance to see them a couple of times in preseason, and they look pretty decent at times. Jameis looked good at times, looked bad at times, and can he be more consistent? I think that's the biggest question I have. The other team another team in the NFC that I'm looking forward to seeing is the Seattle Seahawks. This is a team that went through a lot this past offseason. Richard Sherman was the subject of trade talks. Russell Wilson showed up, at the fight party with, looking decked out like a gangster. I wonder how, and, of course, Michael Bennett has been outspoken, with the Black Lives Matter movement and, very supportive of Colin Kaepernick. And, so they made a lot of headlines off the field, but I'm interested to see how things play out for them on the field. I think they're a team that realistically could go all the way, but I think that window is closing, and I'm interested to see what happens. If it doesn't happen this year, what happens as far as whether or not they'll tweak the lineup or, kind of blow things up. Over in the AFC, man, like you can, I'm looking forward to seeing Houston. I think at some point in time, probably earlier than later during the season, I think Deshaun Watson is going to be the starting quarterback. I don't believe in Tom Savage. I've never believed in Tom Savage. I probably will never believe in Tom Savage. But I think Deshaun Watson has what it takes. And keep in mind, this is a team that if they had consistent quarterback play last year, probably could have beaten the Patriots. So I'm interested to see how they put it all together. Another team that and I know this is going to make Ken smile. Another team that I'm looking forward to seeing, interested in seeing what they do, the Cincinnati Bengals, led by Andy Dalton.
Yes, sir. Joe Mixon.
And the reason why I say that is because keep in mind, Marvin Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, is the second longest tenured coach in the NFL, right behind the guy with the hoodie in New England. So, I mean, he's been there like 14, 15 years. And every year we're like, okay, Marvin's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat, but he manages to get it done. They've had injuries. They've had just bad luck. Vontaze Burfict, got suspended again. But I think this is the year that they should be able to put it all together. Can they and will they? I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see how this thing goes. If this team puts it, because they have enough talent to be right there with the best teams in the AFC. But can they keep it together? That's the thing. So, and can AJ Green stay healthy? And can, they've got good running backs and they've got a great defense, but can they keep it together? So I'm looking forward. So those are the teams I'm looking forward to seeing, man. I think all of those teams right there, definitely will shine, or at the very least be very interesting, coming forward for this season. Now, when we start talking about the games, of course, you have the divisional rivalries. But Ken, what game or games are you looking forward to seeing and why?
Let's see here. So I'm not really much of a, kind of like a schedule guy that look for certain games. But I think one of the most obvious games that I'm looking forward to see is when Adrian Peterson go back to Minnesota when they play. So if I had to pick one and give you an answer, it would definitely be that one, man, because I want to see how Peterson, reacts to playing against his old team. He was a Viking for so long, and now he's not. So that should be an interesting game to watch, to say the least.
What about you, B? Any particular game or games that you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh man, I'm up here looking through the schedule now. I can't even think off the top of my head what games I'm looking forward to.
Well, I know you're a Lions fan. Are there any other games like that the Lions play that you look forward to, maybe more so than others?
Nope. I mean, I look forward to seeing the Lions when they play the Falcons. That's about it. I mean, and the Super Bowl rematch. I mean, too bad that's not the Thursday night kickoff game.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, is Raiders playing Seattle at some point this year? Because I would like to see Marshawn Lynch, see how he play against his old squad. If they're playing, I don't know if they're playing.
I don't think that they are.
Okay.
I'll pull it up and see. But I don't think that they are.
Lions and Falcons week 3, and Falcons and Patriots. I think like October 22nd. Falcons go to Gillette Stadium and play.
Sir,
I would like to see that.
No doubt. I think for me, I like seeing the rival, particularly when my team isn't involved or whatever like that. I like seeing the rivalry games. So, anytime I can see, even though I don't have a dog in the fight, but like seeing the Cowboys and the Redskins, those games, the NFC East games always become like really, really fun. And, I like being on social media, seeing the fans go back and forth. Just personally for me, because I grew up a Giants fan and I still love the Giants to this day. Giants Cowboys, like that game, no matter what, and given the fact that the Giants beat the Cowboys twice last year, anytime those two teams play, I always look forward to it because it's bitter. And the Giants don't like the Cowboys and the Cowboys don't like the Giants. And they don't really, it's not like they try to hide it. It's really, really, in your face. Also, Steelers, Ravens. When you talk about smash mouth football, it's really, really smash mouth football. Both teams really hate each other. The fan bases hate each other. I love seeing them go back and forth. And those games, while they generally aren't pretty games as far as like high scoring games, it's always a smash mouth game. And those games always seem to come down to a kick or a penalty or something, at the last minute. So I'm really looking forward to, like I said, Giants, Cowboys, Steelers, Ravens. Is there another rivalry? That's pretty much it. It used to be 49ers and Seahawks, but the 49ers, are terrible right now. And obviously living here, man, Saints, Falcons. That's always because the fan bases hate each other. Saints, Falcons is always fun. For me as well. All right, man. So let's break it down. These divisions. Let's start first in the AFC. B, who wins the AFC and why?
I think we've been saying this ever since we've been doing that in sports, and it's the mighty Patriots. Is always going to be the Patriots until Tom Brady or they suffer 5 more injuries on that team. I'm gonna pick someone else, but until then, I'm gonna have to go with the Patriots, man. The Patriots, the defending champs, they've been fortunate to play in a cupcake division. I hate to be the guy that say that. But with the exception of them couple
years, shame the devil.
Yeah, the couple years that the Jets had them good defenses when they went to the AFC Championship game. That's about it. But other than that, Patriots, AFC East.
There it is. What about you, Ken? Who wins the AFC East and why?
Damn, man, this sucks. I don't even want to say it. That team B said, I think they'll win. I mean, they should win it. The Dolphins have Cutler as their quarterback. The Jets quit before the season started, and so did the Bills. They quit. They can win this division with Jacoby Brissett starting as the quarterback. So yeah, they're gonna win this division.
Who, by the way, they just traded too, which was a surprise to me.
So yeah, they'll win. I'm not gonna even say their names.
All the disrespect. I gotta make it a trifecta, man. I think New England wins the East. Like B said, I don't. Of the years that we've been doing Dead End Sports, I don't think any of us ever picked somebody other than New England to win the East. I don't know, man. Like you said, Ken, the Jets had a little run there for a while, and I feel bad for Jets fans because the Jets fans are probably I'm very close with some Jets fans. They might be some of the most loyal fans who are absolutely getting nothing in return. I mean, because if you think about that Jets team, what is there to watch on that team? Like, other than just watching the Jets, like there's nothing entertaining about that team. They were a little entertaining when Rex Ryan was there because he could talk trash, and Ty Bowles, man, I know you hanging on for your job, man. It's gonna be a long year, man. I mean, that's a team that they might win 4 games, hopefully.
And they're doing the brother wrong, man. They're doing the brother wrong. Let's be real.
He's got his work cut out for him on this one, man. This is gonna be a lean year to say the least. But yeah, I got the Patriots winning this division. I would be surprised that if anybody in the division could actually give them a run for the money. To be honest, I'd be surprised if anybody in the division beat them. As far as divisional games, it's New England. I don't know what else to say. New England, I mean, we already know what they are. They're a great team. So, Miami's, like you said, they pulled Jay Cutler off the scrap heap. Buffalo's a train wreck. And then the Jets. I mean, like, this, to me, and there's no disrespect, this is the weakest division in the NFL. And you need not look any further than, the Jets quarterback situation. And that tells you all that you need to know about where this particular division is. So, yeah, I got the East going to the Patriots. Now let's take it to the South. AFC South. Ken, who wins and why?
All right, so AFC South, what we're working with here. So the Texans, the Jaguars, the Colts, and the Titans. This is a very, very, very ugly division. Andrew Luck is beat up. Mariota can't stay on the field. The Jaguars have Borders as the quarterback. And the Texans are starting Tom Savage. So it's terrible, man. But I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. Why you got the Titans?
You know what, man? I gave Mariota a hard time, but I have to admit he's in a reduced role. He has played effective. He doesn't take a lot of risks, but he gets the job done. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over, and that's key in the NFL because all the possessions count. You just can't give the team the ball like that. So I think if he can stay healthy, they got Decker, who's a touchdown machine. They got Corey Davis, who, if he can stay healthy, can be a weapon for them down the stretch. They have 2 elite running backs, and they have a tight end in Delaney Walker. So the rest is really up to Mariota. Like, can he stay on the field? And when he's on the field, he's very, very efficient, and he's basically doing what he was doing in college. He just kind of walked the team down to score. Very Brady-like. They don't really – they go deep when the guy's wide open. But outside of that, he just takes what the defense gives him. And that's it. So I think with the way the rest of the teams are and how I think this division is just, a depressed division, I think I would like them to win this division. I think it'll be interesting and fun to see Mariota, go ahead and capture his first division title.
Okay. What about you, B? AFC South, man. Who takes it and why?
AFC South. I'm gonna roll with my man's Deshaun Watson and them Houston Texans, man.
Okay.
He's not starting.
I think he's gonna. By like I give him week 3. I give him week 3, week 4. He'll be starting. Yeah, I think we're finally going to get a healthy defense, a healthy J.J. Watt and Clowney, hopefully for a good 80% of the season. Because Clowney proved why he was the first round draft pick. Because at first we was getting ready to label him as a bust in the league, but he held on and held his own, and he showed out in the playoffs, so that was good. Showed out on the big stage. So I think I'm gonna go with Texas, man. That was the only thing they was missing last year was a QB. They showed us the blueprint how to beat the Patriots. They just didn't have no offense. They didn't have no QB that was serviceable. So I think they're gonna be all right, man. I think the Texans gonna take this. I think it's gonna be the second year in a row that they're gonna take the division. They took it last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, I got the Texans repeating again as the AFC South champs.
I'm with you, man. I think it's the Texans' division to win. Ken, you laid out a compelling argument, man, for the Titans. Something I don't know, man. Something about the Titans I just don't trust. They do have Murray. I like Mariota when healthy. Not really a fan of that defense that they have, even though they're pretty solid. They're not flashy or anything like that. But I think it'll come down to the Texans and the Titans battling it out. But I like the Texans, man, and I think eventually Savage will give way to playing poor, and Deshaun Watson will be eventually starting. And I think when you look at what they have as far as the run game, they've got Hopkins on the outside, that great defense with J.J. Watt coming back off a back injury. If he, injuries withstanding, if he can get back to what he was, which I don't think is crazy enough to think that he wouldn't. And then you got Clowney on the other side, who was healthy last year for the first time. Man, this Texan squad could be scary. And, given everything that's happened in South Texas and Houston in particular, they have a little bit more motivation to be playing for their fans. And, before we even move on, big shout out to J.J. Watt, man, for raising at this point $20 million in hurricane relief funds for people who have been affected by Hurricane Harvey. I think when he initially started out, he wanted to raise 200,000, and it went from 200,000, and he's right now they're sitting at 20 million, man. So big shout out to him for getting out there, getting his face out there, and asking people to donate money and their time and their efforts, and it's been I'm pretty sure far beyond his dreams, and it's actually going to help the Houston community. So I'm big up to him. And, what he's doing for not just Houston, but all of South Texas and Louisiana as well. But yeah, I like the Titans. I like the Texans. I like the Texans. I think it'll be close. I think this division probably will come down to the last couple of weeks of the season. But give me the Texans coming out of the AFC South. As far as the AFC North, B, who you got coming out of the AFC North?
AFC North. I have. This is always a toughie one.
Oh yeah, always tough because you got.
I think I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Okay. I don't. It seemed like Baltimore maybe take a step back this year. Ken's boy. He got to refer for his boy Flacco, but yeah, I got Pittsburgh, man. I think Pittsburgh. They're gonna take the division. I got them taking the AFC North with it's always that toss up a tie between Ravens and the Bengals to see who's gonna take that second spot. But I got the Steelers just taking the AFC North.
No doubt. What about you, Kent? AFC North, who you got?
You know what? They have everybody now, so I have to pick the Steelers. I was gonna say I like the Bengals, but I just they have way too many running backs, and I don't think they know who's who. So I think the Steelers, with all of their weapons finally available, and for the first time in a long time, or for the first time, period, people are excited to see what they do. Martavis Bryant, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, They got Eli Rogers, and they just got a Vance McDonald, who's a pass catching tight end when he catches the ball, and then they have Jesse James. Vance McDonald's dropped the ball a lot. So then they picked up Joe Hayden, who was released by the Browns, and I was looking to see if he was one of the ones that protested too, but I couldn't find it. Anyway. And I don't think he was, because that was.
I don't
weird.
think he was either.
Yeah, that was weird. But so they picked him up. So the defense, the secondary should be a little bit better. So I like the Steelers, but I think this could also be a case where everybody's hyped up and looking forward to seeing what a team does, and they do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I think I got to go with the Steelers too, man. I think Pittsburgh. I was a little concerned during the offseason when there was talk that Ben Rothliesberger was talking about retiring. Because anytime a guy starts talking about retiring, that means like he's, he ain't playing around. Like he's really serious about it. And, I didn't think that there was any doubt that he would be coming back. But the fact that he was talking about it was a cause for concern. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe his head's not in it. But it could have been him just being emotional after the end of the season. It was a rough ending to the end of the season for them. And then obviously you had the holdout with Le'Veon Bell. As you mentioned, Bryant has been reinstated. I think they got better on defense. And I think the Steelers really have the blueprint and what they want to do, and they know what they want to do. And they do what they can to kind of impose their will. Le'Veon Bell, in my opinion, is still the best back in the game. Antonio Brown is, in my opinion, if not 1A as far as receivers in the game. So I got to go with Pittsburgh. I think they probably lose 4 or 5 games, but they win this division. I'm in, and as I mentioned, I'm interested to see where Cincinnati is, but can Cincinnati go toe to toe with Pittsburgh? That's the question that I have. I think Baltimore takes a step back. I'm not sold that Flacco is back and that his back is fully healthy. And I know, Ken doesn't believe in Joe Flacco, but I believe in Flacco. I just don't. They just don't have a.
Come on, man. How many years has it been? How many years
has it been? Since we shot the video.
Okay.
Oh man. So yeah, I can't jump on the Flacco bandwagon this year, man. So I gotta roll with Pittsburgh, man. I think Pittsburgh gets it done in the AFC North. Now let's take it to the where are we going next? We're going to wait a minute. We got my man FIFO on the FIFO. What's up, man? Is he on?
Yo.
What up, man?
Yo, what up?
What's good? What's good?
Man, where the hell does damn weather come from, man?
I don't know, man. It was sunny and then it just started raining like all of a sudden.
Man.
But it could be worse.
It could be. It definitely could be. But it wasn't gravy. It definitely added like another 30 minutes to my commute.
I understand totally. We're just sitting there kicking it, talking about the NFL right now. We're talking about we're going to take it to the AFC West. B, what about you? As far as the AFC West, who do you think wins it and why?
AFC West. Ooh, that's with Denver, Kansas City, Chargers, Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
I got Oakland, man. I got Oakland. Carr's back. He's gonna be on the tear. I think he's angry because he know that last season slipped from them due to his injury. They got beast mode. I know that's gonna bring them some extra additional locker room motivation. Someone that's a Super Bowl winner that knows what it takes, and he's motivated because he's playing for his hometown. So I'm pretty sure that's another one up for them. So that should be pretty cool. What else? Who else? Yeah, I think that's it. I got Oakland.
What about you, FIFO? Who do you have coming out of the AFC West?
I would have to agree. I got Oakland. Derek Carr, I think, is the best quarterback in that division. And if you just pick out the best quarterback in every division, you could probably pick out the and everything that B said, Marshawn is going to be highly motivated to play. I think Derek Carr, even though I don't think he's cracked the top 10 because he's still so young that he has to be able to put in the years to prove that he's worthy of that top 10. And just in terms of arm talent alone, he's top 10, right? So, coming off of that injury, I think he's feeling like he has something to prove. That defense is up and coming with Khalil Mack.
Yes.
I just think they have the perfect storm. I think this is the year. I don't think they can sneak up on anybody, and I think where they are now in terms of their talent, they want that challenge. So I like where they are, man. Jack Del Rio got them boys up right.
True indeed. What about you, Ken? AFC West. Who wins it and why?
So let's see. Denver don't have a quarterback. Kansas City, I mean, they win games, but
right, they get it done. Matters. It's not pretty, but they get it done.
You know what? Give me the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going with Phillip Rivers.
That sounds funny to hear in and of itself. But go ahead.
I know it really does. Give me Phillip Rivers, and if that team stay healthy, I think they could. I think they could shock the NFL or the AFC West and take this division. Phillip Rivers, Tyrell Williams, Keenan Allen, Melvin Gordon, Hunter Henry, Antonio Gates. I think they can do it, man. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and venture away from the pack on this one, and I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Why because you know be a contrarian? Like why is it in your name?
Always, man. It don't matter. It don't matter.
You know what, FIFO? Look, the Chargers won a lot of close games last year, right? What, six or seven of them? On the final drive or within 1 point. If those go the other way, then we're talking about a different team. So I'm saying that they're not going to go the other way. And in addition to that, Phillip Rivers lost Keenan Allen in the first half of last year, and he kept losing receiver after receiver. Melvin Gordon went down. I think Danny Woodhead went down. So they struggled. So yeah, I'm. Watch, I'm going to be right. Watch, you'll see.
Famous last words. Watch, I'm going to be right. I'm going to go with KC. I mean, not KC. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I agree with what B and FIFO said, man. I think Carr's injury, man, really put a damper on, I think, what could have been a magical season for the Raiders last year. They get better. Carr has another year under his belt, playing with Amari Cooper, who is, a fantasy keeper and a stat pusher on the outside. Then you get beast mode coming out of retirement. You don't know. I mean, and I saw his and I got to go back to fantasy football, but I saw his name come off the board very early in fantasy drafts. And because you got to figure that Marshawn Lynch, even if he's not running, from the 20 to the 20, he's definitely getting the ball inside the red zone, because he's always been a great short yardage back. And that defense is improving with Khalil Mack. They've got to get better on the outside. I think they gave up a lot of passes for touchdowns last year. They've had some off the field issues. The kid just got popped for what was it? Beating up his sister's boyfriend or something like that. So typical Raiders, man. Typical Raiders. So I like this team. The AFC West is going to be tough. I'm not sold on Denver because of their quarterback situation. And I'll touch on that in a second. And then, Kansas City, who, has a great defense, you just have to ask yourself, can you trust Alex Smith? Now, the Mahomes kid behind him is going to be special. I think he's going to be good, but I think Andy Reid doesn't want to, and you can understand why. Andy Reid's not going to play him this year. But speaking of quarterbacks, while we're on the subject of quarterbacks in Denver, Denver welcomed a new face this week. Brock Osweiler was cut by the Cleveland Browns and unceremoniously cut after signing a contract that would pay him $16 million this year. And he's going back to his former team, the Denver Broncos, where he will compete for the starting position. it got me to thinking, and I didn't even have this on here, but I'm gonna throw this question to you guys. Years ago we did our videos. We would do our top 10 videos, top 10 at the positions. I was telling one of my coworkers today, like how bad the quarterback position has fallen off in the NFL. So I'm gonna throw this question to you guys, and B, I'll start with you. And I'm not going to ask you for your top 10, but do we have like 10 really, really good quarterbacks in the NFL? 10 great quarterbacks in the NFL?
No.
Because I think we got like a handful of really good quarterbacks. I think we got a couple of great quarterbacks, a couple of good quarterbacks, and then after that, it just sucks.
Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, because you think, okay, let's name what we always say the elites, right? Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. I'm forgetting somebody else.
No, that's about it as far as elite.
So them three I like the elites. Then you got like the second tier. You got the Matt Ryans, you got the Ben Roethlisbergers, you got the
where would you put Eli? Eli probably be on that tier, right? I would
he'd be like the third tier, I would say.
Yeah, Eli's third.
Wait,
Eli on the second tier? FIFO, thank you.
I might put Eli on the second tier.
He's too inconsistent. You can't be in the second tier and be that inconsistent.
You're right.
He there with Andy Dalton and them.
I think Ben. I think you disrespecting Big Ben a little bit, B.
Nah. He's second tier.
What?
You'll put him with the Bradys and the Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Nah.
Why not?
Why? Because he got 2 Super Bowls.
Well,
Eli does too.
Yeah, but Eli's not as good as Big Ben.
Y'all hear how I keep going Eli
there?
Who's there?
We agree there. No, I said we agree there where Ben is definitely better than Eli, but Ben has always had like a lot of other stuff. See, like the elite, like that first tier, no matter what you put around them, they gonna get it done. It don't matter. Don't put no O-line. Don't worry about it. I got it. Right? Peyton Manning was like that. Right? So that's the first tier. Second tier is I'm not going to lose you guys any games. I'm way better than the majority of the quarterbacks in the league. I might lose you a game or two just because, I think I'm the guy, but the defense really has me figured out. But I'm good enough to go to a Super Bowl. I may not win it, but I'm good enough to get there. That's the second tier. Third tier is right
You're a
time,
starter.
right place. Hold on. Third tier is more right time, right place. We might win, but it ain't guaranteed. We just might make the playoffs, just maybe.
Kirk Cousins.
Those are the 3 tiers.
Kirk Cousins.
I agree. Maybe 4th tier Kirk Cousins, but he's been up there though.
But he's a legend at the bank.
Okay, so
hey, I'll take it.
Ralph, based on that criteria you just laid out, I think we should put Russell
That's a great
Wilson
criteria too.
in the elite tier. He's done it without. I think Russell Wilson should be in the elite tier then.
I couldn't put Russell. You know what?
I think he's second tier.
By FIFO's definition, I'm thinking like here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like a quarterback that if you say, okay, get me 303 touchdowns this Sunday, I think the quarterbacks that he named in that top tier can do that on a week-to-week basis.
It don't matter. They do it in their
It don't. Yeah, exactly. It don't matter.
Don't matter.
Like you said, the next tier, I think those guys can do it, but it's not all the time. The next tier
you
is
have
probably
about 3 to 4 off weeks. You're gonna have about a third of the season where it's kind of like, man, like what happened? But they will bounce right back.
So let me ask y'all this: if we go by those tiers, where do we put Cam Newton?
Cam Newton's in the second tier.
Okay, so you would put him in the third tier.
No. I think, but I'm not done with Russell. FIFO said that you can put an elite guy as a guy that would go out and get it done week to week, regardless of who's on the field. How is that not Russell Wilson?
Because
the guy was
Russell
throwing to
Wilson,
Jermaine Kearse and Paul Richardson and Tyler Lockett.
No. Russell did his thing, but he ain't do it like Tom Brady did it with the no names, right? He's not out there throwing for 3-4 touchdowns, no picks in the
That's all he's done,
in
Ralph.
the blizzard, huh?
That's all he's done.
Also, wait, hold on. But a lot of the success, and I'm not taking anything away from Russell Wilson. that defense has been an all-time great defense.
Yeah.
For their run, because think about it, all-time great defenses don't have more than 2-3 years. It's hard to keep all those guys together. They don't have more than 2-3 years. For their run, you gotta consider them top 5 defense all time. I'm not saying you put them there. I'm just saying you have. They're in the conversation.
At the very least, top 10.
I remember you guys gave me a lot of crap when I made that same argument as to why Russell Wilson shouldn't be top 10 or whatever it was at that time.
But that's being disrespectful, though, Ken. Russell Wilson, dog. We only named 3 guys in the top 10.
Yeah, I can't put Russell Wilson in the elite. I can't put him in the elite. But it's interesting that we having this, because like I said, I was having this conversation today, and I was telling my coworker, like, I don't know that I know that there's some great quarterbacks. There's a couple of good quarterbacks, but I was like, I was having a hard time coming up with 10, and I was like, I'm not even doing a list, and I was going off the top of my head, but yeah, I would probably Cam, Russell Wilson, Stafford, Ryan, Flacco. If you made a case for Ben being in tier 1, I wouldn't argue with that, because Ben gets numbers. He doesn't. He's been banged up, but I wouldn't have a problem with somebody putting Ben in the top tier. But like
week to week, he's not the reason.
Yeah, week to week, no.
But we've seen Ben play elite, and we've seen Ben do it with a revolving.
And we've seen Ben struggle too.
But we've seen him do it with the revolving door of receivers too. He went from Santonio Holmes, huh?
No, go ahead.
What with Santonio Holmes? Who else did he have? Hines Ward. He's had a rotating crop of receivers, and he still puts up numbers year after year after year.
He does. But you know what though, Ken? If you look at the years that they won, right, except for maybe this last run that they have, they've primarily been defensive centric, right? And yeah, he's done it with a revolving door, but it's not because of him. When you watch those other 3 guys, right, and even though Drew Brees isn't getting the W's now, but the team is just awful around him, right? Like, we don't know what Sean Payton's doing. Hopefully they can turn it around. But the other 2, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, it don't matter. They're the primary reason why you win a football game. It's not the defense. It's not the run game. It's not nothing. It's them doing those nuances. Those only Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady play. Like only the plays that those guys can make, man. Like those guys are on a whole nother level. Look, Matt Ryan had the most comeback wins, right, to start off an NFL career. But he's not doing it the entire game week to week.
No.
These guys, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, for the majority of the game, are dominant.
Yeah,
you're gonna get 15. You're gonna get 14 to 15 dominant performances from these guys. The next tier, you're gonna get anywhere between 8 to 12, maybe 13 dominant performances. Maybe they're gonna have off games. Ben has had off games.
And usually those off games are games that you lose.
Those are the ones that you lose. And then, but the reason why they're tier 2 is because next week you already know. You put the money on them. They're going to come out and have 300-400 yards because they're that great. But they're not Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
I agree. And that's why we put Russell Wilson in that second tier. He has gotten better. And Ken, I do remember the argument we had, and we did give you hell for it, but he has gotten better. And you mentioned his receiver core. He did pick up Jimmy Graham and so forth and so on. And I think it's time will tell. And I think that's we'll see over a period of time how the quarterback position evolves. But even for those of you listening, come up with a list. Your list probably is going to start thinning out at 10, 11, 12, 13. Because then you're like, okay, now it's like, okay, shake them up. Let me try to figure out who this is at 14 and 15. Because this, to be honest, it's not a lot of great quarterbacks. And I think we're in an era where, the position, man, it's really kind of fading. It really is. But Kyle, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We got some young and up and comers though. We
do.
Jameis. You know what I'm saying?
We do.
You know, we got about 2 or 3 of them. We got Mariota. You
I
know,
like Carr.
And
I
Carr.
like Mariota. I like Jameis.
Exactly.
Outside of the younger ones, man. Outside of that,
No, I feel you. I feel you.
It is slim pickings, and I mean, who knows? Who knows? Time will tell. But right now, yeah, they don't. You know, it's. And I mean, I don't even want to get into Kaepernick, but I mean, this is something that for those of you who've been listening, what we've talked about, like the level of quality starting. I mean, look at the Jets' 3 quarterbacks. I mean, come on, man. They might as well let me play, you know? So, but anyway, I digress. Let's move over to the NFC. The NFC is always cracking. We got notice just before we came on that the NFL upheld the special arbitrator upheld the 6-game suspension for Ezekiel Elliott. So he will be suspended for 6 games, barring that they do not take this to court. However, he has been granted the ability to play this weekend, and they kick off the season this Sunday night at home, meaning the Cowboys at home against the Giants. So let's start right there. B, how do you see this? Who wins the NFC East and why?
Well, this is going to be interesting because, you know, you got a team like Dallas who now, you know, this is where we're going to see what Dak and Zeke is about, because last year rookies caught everybody by surprise. And now you got defensive coordinators got the whole entire offseason and training camp to study these guys, to really know what these guys' weaknesses are. And this is the same thing I said with Kaepernick. When Kaepernick came and shocked everybody with San Fran and took team to the Super Bowl or whatever, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Defensive coordinators got film on them now. So let's see what Kaepernick gonna do. This is how I feel with Dak and them in Dallas. It's like now we're gonna see if Dak and Zeke is a real deal, because, you know, I originally had them winning it, but I think I might go with this might be a shock. I might go with Washington. I think I'm gonna go with the Redskins. Yep. I'm gonna go with the Redskins, man. They just got like a grimy.
Hey, you do know we're recording this, right?
Yes, I know. They just got like a grimy, because I'm not sold on Philly. I don't know why. I don't trust Philly, and Giants is just, I guess it ain't as far as go as where Eli can take them. Because I'm not sold on Giants defense. I think you can run the scoreboard up on that defense. But I think just Redskins because of ugliness, man. Just because they can be that ugly team that's gonna sneak in there and win division going like 9-7, 10-6. I really think that NFC East is gonna be an ugly division as far as like wins go. So I think I have a feeling some of these coordinators, they might pick up on Dak, and we're going to be like, whoa, Dak having that sophomore. I think Dak going to have the sophomore slump. I'm not saying Dak is going to be a bum the rest of his career, but I think he's going to have a sophomore slump. I can't really say the same about Zeke because, you know, they got a good offensive line. So I think Zeke is going to have a good, once he comes back from his suspension.
Assuming that he gets suspended, because, I mean, they could throw this thing in court and he could be just like Brady and, you know, find out next year.
He's going to eat these games up. I think he's going to come back angry, pissed. And he's gonna run the hell out that ball. I think he gonna still be probably 5th in rushing once the season is all said and done, even missing the first. You know, he won't come back to week 8. You know what I'm saying? So I think Zeke is still gonna be top 5, top 6 RB. But Dak, I think Dak might be in that sophomore slump, man. So I'm gonna go and watch the Redskins, Kirk Cousins and company, man. You like that? That's what I'm going with.
What about you, Vivo? Who wins this division and why?
I think. See, this is the interesting division, right? Because you got the Giants and all these diva wide receivers, you know, out here trying to get the same ball. You got the Eagles with a second-year quarterback that, you know, he looked all right. You know, he looked pretty good early on. Then, you know, people caught on, and then, you know, he didn't look as good. Then we got Dallas with Zeke obviously being out the first 6 weeks, Dak being the second-year quarterback, and we got the damn Redskins, man. Like how you really want me to pick this? because my logical brain, when I break everything down, I'm like, it's really a free-for-all. It really is, because I think that if Zeke was in the lineup for the first 6 weeks, Dak wouldn't struggle. And I wouldn't agree with B, but because Zeke is out, I agree with B. I think he's going to struggle a little bit at the beginning of the season. I don't know where that puts them. The Giants, I like them offensively. You know, I think Odell is the best wide receiver in the NFL. That's another conversation for another day. I like the other wide receivers. I like what they've done offensively, but no O-line. Defense is, you know, it's not. They're a bend but don't break defense. They, you know, and I think that if you don't have an O-line, you need a defense that can get the ball back, and they're just not that. So I don't know where they go. Washington. Man, come on, man. They have a rent a quarterback. That's basically what they got right now. They got a rent a quarterback, and the rest of that team, like what? Like I don't know how Beast
ugly. It's an ugly team. It's an ugly team, man.
Dude, when I look at, I don't know what to make of it, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the best overall player in the division. I'm gonna go with OBJ and the Giants, cause just because of that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you play a game of poker and somebody has like the damn 10 of clubs and that's the high card. You ain't do nothing else. Maybe an ace, maybe a jack, but it is what it is, man. I'm taking OBJ and the Giants.
Okay. What about you, Ken?
You know, I wanted to go with Philadelphia.
Just because you didn't want to hear Q's mouth. Shout out to Q.
Yeah, I think you know, getting Alshon Jeffrey I think is an upgrade. You know, Ertz showed out last year. He came on strong, and I think, you know, it's the second year. Wentz started out hot, and then, you know, he kind of hit a rookie wall. So if he can, you know, carry that out through a full season, I was thinking that they may get the job done. But nah, I think I'm gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna just go with quarterback. I think Dak. You guys know, and for those of you that have listened to this show, I was a big Dak fan when he was at Mississippi State. I think there's something to this guy. I don't want to jump too far on the hype train yet. I do believe Zeke's suspension will impact them, but if that O-line is what everybody says it is, then Matt Fadden and Alfred Morris can jump in there and you know, get them through the 6 games. So give me the Cowboys, man. I like the Cowboys to win this division. It's not going to be easy, but it's the NFL. No game is easy. And,
indeed,
you know, I think that Paul Perkins can't run the ball. I hear what FIFO's saying, but that offensive line in New York is terrible. And I don't know. Eli's a turnover machine, man. So give me the Cowboys.
Never bet against Elisha Manning. I'm going with the Giants, man. Now, Ken, you did touch on something that I think is very key that a lot of people seem to forget. The Giants running game is a work in progress. To call it a work in progress, I think is an understatement. However, with Sterling Shepard working the middle, you got Brandon Marshall, who's a new acquisition, and obviously Odell Beckham Jr. Eli Manning has the weapons at his disposal. This year, I think more so than any other year, the Giants go as far as Eli Manning can take them. And, you know, if he's washed up or if he throws 4 picks in a game, you know, then, you know, the Giants have to start looking at his replacement. But defensively, this team came on really, really strong at the end of the year, played very well. I think that's going to roll over into this season. Defensively, I don't think the Giants I don't think there'll be a problem. I think that the biggest question is going to be the offensive line and the run game. I don't trust Dallas. I know that Dallas has a great offensive line, but I really think, and B, you touched on it, and you said this as long as we've been doing this. Once teams get a chance to get film on a guy, they seem to figure him out. And I think if you look at the level of caliber of teams that Dallas played last year, they didn't play playoff teams. They got that record primarily just from beating. I mean, you play who's on your schedule, but they beat some of the worst teams in the NFL. Then that's not to say that they aren't good, because Dallas is good. However, you know, they didn't play a lot of playoff teams last year on their way to making it to the playoffs before getting knocked out by a discount double check. So with that being said, I think Dallas will be fine. I think they have decent running backs that can hold the fort, but defensively, Dallas can't stop anybody, and that's going to be their problem. The Eagles, I like Wentz. I like him a lot. I think he's a lot better than I thought he was initially going to be. But not really sure about Philadelphia's defense. I think Philadelphia's, they're probably another year away. B, I don't understand how you picked the Redskins. You said that they're ugly. Yeah, they're ugly. I mean, like precious ugly, right? They are so ugly.
But you know how crazy the NFL season is, man.
But you're right though. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
That's my anything can happen pick right there.
Yeah, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. God bless him. I mean, like I said, he's a legend at the bank, but nah, he's not that good. And I think it's going to show. So yeah, I'm taking the Giants to win the NFC East. Moving over to the NFC South, we got the Falcons, we got the Panthers, we got the Bucks, and we got the Saints. FIFO, how do you see this one shaking out? Who wins the NFC South?
Man, look. 2 years in a row, man. Man, they. This is tough. This is tough
for the culture
because they're making me go against my own rule, man.
And what's your rule?
Bet on Georgia teams.
There you go.
You don't do it. You see what happened, yeah. And I let my guard down. I said it was gonna be too much, and they came out like that. Ken. And this is why Tom Brady is number 1 or number 2 on everybody's list right now in the NFL, because it don't matter. It don't matter, Ken. It don't matter. They're gonna come back. But anyway,
crap.
When I look at the NFC South, the best team is Atlanta. Now, I think Carolina with Christian McCaffrey. I want to call him his dad's name, Ed McCaffrey. He's a dope player, by the way, for all you youngins and watching. But Christian McCaffrey has his own separate playbook.
I heard about that.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey has a whole offense designed around him. So I definitely think he's going to be a major weapon. And I don't know if the Falcons are going to be able to stop him. But if you're telling me to pick the division winner, who's going to win the most games, and even though Atlanta does have a tough schedule, they got a new crib. And I'm going against my sayings, man. And my sayings, they be meaning something. But I got to pick the Falcons, man. They're the most talented team.
Wow.
It is.
I'm just saying. You see, I ain't even mentioned the team to the south of us. Both of them. They not
right. Right.
They not right. But man, like who else? I'm not picking Carolina. They don't have enough. They don't match up with us. So it's crazy, man. But I got to pick the Falcons, man.
There it is. What about you, B? Who do you have in the NFC South, man, and why?
I think what Kia said earlier, I can see Cam Newton and them having a bounce back year. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I think the Panthers will do it. I think Atlanta still make the playoffs. They'll be one of the wild card teams. They'll be second in the NFC South. But I got the Panthers taking it by 1 game. I think they're gonna get them by 1 game.
Okay. What about you, Ken?
Man. All right, so we got the brother in North Carolina, so B representing him, and we got the brother in Tampa Bay, and I'm going with the brother. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the NFC South. Jameis Winston has weapons all over the field, and I think they're gonna do it this time, man. So, yeah, I'm going with Winston, man. I think it's time for him to graduate to the next level and go ahead and get this thing done, man. There are no excuses. You have Mike Evans, you have Doug Martin, Jaquez Rogers, Charles Sims is back. You have O.J. Howard. You have Deshaun Jackson. So you can go, man, Come on, man. You have Cameron Brate, who's just steady. He's a worker's tight end. And then you have O.J. Howard, who can run up and down the field. However, I'm with you, Kyle. If they don't get it done, it's on Cutter, unless Winston just absolutely terrible. They got rid of Lovie Smith for Cutter to get the job done and to get Jameis Winston where he needs to be. And it's time for them to take that next step forward, and it's time for that move to pay off.
I got and y'all know me, man. I hardly ever agree with Ken.
Let's go, Kyle.
But I got Tampa Bay winning this, man. I think the Falcons make the playoffs as a wild card, but I think Tampa wins the division. I think if you want to make a run, and for the Falcons who are listening, because I know the Falcons are listening, if you want to make a run at the Super Bowl, you got to. I think you got to win your division first. But yeah, I think Tampa wins the division. I think Tampa probably finishes 11-5. Maybe the Falcons finish 10-6. The Saints are going to be in the mix because you just can't count out the Saints. It's going to be a tough year for Carolina. I think Carolina and Saints probably will duke it out for last place in the division. But I like Tampa winning the division, man. It's like Ken said, if they do it, it's going to be on Jameis. If they don't do it, it's going to be on Jameis. So he's going to be able to carry this team. I think they're poised on defense. They are so good on defense that if Jameis doesn't turn the ball over and if they can control the clock, they can win most games. So I think I can definitely see this team winning 11 games. I think the hometown Falcons will probably win 10, maybe 9 at the least. But I think they still get into playoffs. But yeah, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the NFC South. Now let's take it to the NFC North. B, this is your division, man. Who wins it and why?
Ain't my damn division. Green Bay. Green Bay. I got Green Bay, man. I'm like FIFO said about the NFC East. I'm gonna go with the best player in that division, Aaron Rodgers. They've been kind of holding down this division for they almost similar to how the Patriots been holding down the AFC East. I know Bears kind of snuck in a couple of times and won it, but other than that, it's been Green Bay. Green Bay. So I'm gonna still go with them because they got discount double check over there, still throwing on the ball. So you can't go wrong with that. So I got Green Bay.
What about you, FIFO?
Before I say who or what team is gonna win this division, let's talk a little bit about Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because who's this guy? Who's this guy? Because I know I questioned the crap out of that. Yeah, I know everybody else did, but I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a believer, but he came out there and he did his thing. I can't even lie. I can't even lie.
All right, fall for it you want to.
No. Hey, I didn't say that.
I saw him in the preseason too. He did look pretty good. Now again, that was against 2s and 3s, but he looked good.
Of course. No, look. At the end of the day, what Dak did last year in preseason wasn't against all of the starters all of the time either. Now, you know what I'm saying? But we saw it. Talent is easy to see, and it's so crazy because you didn't see this in college, but all of a sudden in the NFL, he looks like he's better than he was in college. I don't know. That's just weird. That doesn't typically happen like that. But anyway, I'm with B, man. You got discount double check. You got the baddest man in the game right now, in my opinion, at the quarterback position. There's no throw we can make, man. There's no and you know what? I was looking. I've never been to an NFL game. I was looking for the Falcons and Packers tickets. It's the second most
good luck with that
expensive ticket this season.
Yeah, that's a Sunday night game. It's a home opener on Sunday night in 2 weeks against the Packers.
And the reason is because Aaron Rodgers is worth the price of admission.
Yes, sir.
Now that's a little too steep for me because I got to get at least 2 tickets, and I ain't paying no $500-600. I'm just good. I ain't doing
that might, to be honest, that might be for the nosebleeds.
It sure is. It sure is. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But at the end of the day,
sneak in.
Yeah, man, that boy Aaron Rodgers, man, like any throw, back leg, like he's like, remember how Brett Favre used to throw like the dumbest ball, right? But he had enough arm strength. No, but Aaron Rodgers will get it. Aaron Rodgers is the guy. I don't think I've ever seen anything like Aaron Rodgers, man, to be honest. And that's not taking away from Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, nothing like that. But I think when it's all said and done, if we're just talking quarterback play, I don't know if I've seen better than Aaron Rodgers.
It is. What about you, Ken? NFC North, excuse me. Who wins and why?
Can the Packers play defense? Did they fix that in the offseason? Or we still winning games with Aaron Rodgers? Is that what we're doing?
They've been winning division under Aaron Rodgers for all these years. So
yeah, this is true.
I see. Well, I mean, look, we don't even have to look at the Packers' ability to stop anybody, right? We can look at the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Bradford, Detroit Lions, Matthew Stafford. No running back. What in the world? Okay. Matthew Stafford.
Who's over there playing Tears for Fears, man?
I was about to say, Ken, what the hell are you doing over there, people?
Ken got a demo.
Somebody in the 80s, man. They having a good time.
You too.
That sounded so 80s, didn't it?
I thought that was a Joshua tree.
Yeah, so Detroit Lions, Matthew Stafford, no running game. And then Chicago Bears, Mike Glennon / Trubisky. You got to go with Rodgers. I think Detroit will compete. But, I just, without a solid running game, I think there's only so much they can do. And there's only so much Stafford can do by himself. Now, let's give the brother credit. He's been getting it done by himself. But we've seen it. Amir Abdullah hasn't been able to stay healthy. And then when he's off the board, you got Zach Zenner, if he's still there. I don't even know if he's still there. Theo Riddick. And that's, it's just not enough, man. That's not enough. So yeah. And Eric Ebron, he can't stay on the field. So, but, I like the brother as the coach. And, he's been successful, but they just don't have the pieces yet. So I'm going to go with Rodgers.
Yeah, I got to make it a 4, man. It's Rodgers for me. I think I am concerned about Green Bay's defense, but when you got a guy on the other side who can put up 30, 30 every Sunday, the only other team you probably have to worry about is the teams, the Dallases or the teams, like maybe the Falcons who can put up a lot of points. But the guy on the other side, number 12 is going to put up points. You already know that in and of itself. So, and if he has the ball last, he's probably going to score. So, yeah, I like Green Bay. I'm interested to see what Detroit does, particularly with Stafford. And we talked about Stafford getting the new contract. Minnesota, and it's, like I said, it's a common theme, really, if you listen to this podcast. Their quarterback situation. I'm not sold on Bradford. I'm a huge Florida State fan, so I'll be rooting for Dalvin Cook to see what he does. That defense in Minnesota is always pretty stout. But and Bears, like I said, I was encouraged by what I saw from Trubisky. Again, it was against 2s and 3s in the preseason. Mike Glennon is the starter for now. I think they gave him like $14 million to come to Chicago, which, they give you the money to come to Chicago and then they turn around and draft a quarterback. I don't understand that. But yeah, I think this is Green Bay's division. But, these teams in this division, they when they play each other, you can kind of throw out the records. The Bears can be 0-15, and if they can beat the Packers in the final game of the season, that makes their season. So, look out for those games in particular when you get a chance to see them each Sunday, because they love to play against each other and beat up on each other. Now taking it to the NFC West. Hey man, how do you see this thing shaking out, Ken?
Oh my God, man. So the Rams are out. The 49ers are out. And we're left between Seattle and Arizona. Fitzgerald, Has been playing in the league so long that he don't know that braids and dreads are no longer in. And he slows down as the year goes on. We still have Seattle. We have Russell Wilson, pre-elite quarterback. But they have a running game issue. Thomas Rawls, Eddie Lacy.
That's your man, Ken.
Hey, he likes cheeseburgers more than he likes that NFL check, man. So
I will say he has lost some weight. Some weight.
Yeah, he has. Give me Seattle, man. You know what? I think there's something to players having an edge. Mm-hmm. And while Seattle has issues, they've played in 2 Super Bowls with Russell Wilson. That most of that defense is the key components of that defense. The key ingredients are still there. So I think that matters. I think they rotate other pieces to kind of spice it up a little bit, but the main parts they need to make that thing work are still there on defense. And the rest is up to Russ, Jimmy Graham, and the rotating crop of running backs they have to get the job done. So I'll go with the pre-elite Russell Wilson for this one, because he's going to show that he's ready to be mentioned along with the rest of them. This year, it's going to happen.
No doubt. No doubt. What about you, FIFO? Who wins the NFC West and why?
I'm not going to go into a big spiel about this one. Seattle, because they're the best team, most talent, got a Super Bowl quarterback, got a head coach, got the edge, like Ken said. They still got the staples on defense. So that's about it. Thank you.
What about you, B?
Yeah, I'm had to go with the Legion of Boom, man. I had to go with Seattle. They still got the pedigree to get it done. I think they still got the veteran players. Like people said, they still got pretty much all their guys together. Is he back? My man that got injured last year. Is it Thomas? I think his last name was Thomas. I know they was missing
Earl
someone
Thomas.
last year. Yeah, he's back this year, right?
Yeah, Earl's back.
Yeah. I got Seattle, man. I think Seattle is definitely gonna take this division.
Yeah, I agree. I got to go with Seattle. I don't think the Cardinals are that far away. This has become a pretty good rivalry between the two teams, but I think ultimately, you got to kind of bet on Carson Palmer, and I think Carson Palmer's probably on the downside of his career. And I like the mentality of Seattle. I like they kind of understand that this could be their last run, their last push for greatness as far as, the playoffs and the Super Bowl and the whole nine. And as I mentioned earlier, they had a tumultuous offseason, to say the least. So with Richard Sherman being, openly shopped around, I think this team feels like, they got a lot to prove. And this is a team that we could see in Minnesota represent the NFC, in the Super Bowl. So I'm going with Seattle to win it all. Before we get on to our Super Bowl picks, let me run down a couple of headlines that made the sports news while we were away this past week. Congratulations are in order. Serena Williams gave birth to a baby girl, if I'm not mistaken. So congrats to her. Florida State quarterback DeAndre Francois was knocked out of the game against Alabama. Alabama went on to roll over Florida State 24-7, but in the process, knocking out DeAndre Francois. He is out for the season. So now Florida State, which I think started off at number 3 in the AP poll, has dropped down to number 10. Their season is in jeopardy because odds are likely that, they probably will not win the ACC. Also in the college football, your man, Josh Rosen, rallied UCLA over Texas A&M after being down. I think it was 44-10. They come back and win 45-10, defeating Texas A&M in one of the greatest games college football you'll see this season. It happened this past weekend. Also in the NBA news, your man Isaiah Thomas, man, it is rumored that Isaiah Thomas may not be back until after the All-Star break. We talked last week about how the Cleveland Cavaliers were holding on and they wanted more picks. They ended up getting a second-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. And word on the street is that Isaiah Thomas may not be back until after the All-Star break. So it'll be interesting to see. And the last note I have here, your man Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, not really known for making controversial statements. Those are usually made by his father. Lonzo Ball told or said on his reality show that, quote, nobody listens to Nas, that Drake and, Migos and Future are the future of hip hop. Close quote. You didn't hear that?
I saw some. No, I've been out of touch, man. I've been offline.
Yeah, he said that.
Oh my God.
He said that they are the future. He said, no, quote, nobody listens to Nas. I don't know where he got that from, but he's 19, so.
Okay.
You feel free to speak on it if you want, man.
Nah, I think we got something we need to talk about Sunday at our shoot. Feel free to come through, Kyle.
Oh man, I definitely if I can make it, I damn sure will. So yeah, that's a couple of notes. Also, Justin Verlander was traded from the Detroit Tigers. Huge blockbuster trade. So baseball pennant season is heating up. Like I said, those were just a couple of notes. We were primarily just touching on the NFL on this particular podcast, but I wanted to get some notes in case you missed it. All right, now it's time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. This is the time where we give our Super Bowl picks. Again, this is being recorded, so we can always come back in February of next year in 2018 and look back at these picks and say, oh, this person was right. Oh, this person was wrong. I don't think any of us got the picks last year. So with that being said, let's start it off. FIFO, who ends up in Minnesota for the Super Bowl representing the AFC and the NFC?
In the AFC, man, look, I gotta go with Tom Brady and the boys, man. Like they retooled too much.
Ken size.
Yeah, hey, look, man, I don't like the Patriots. I don't like Tom Brady. But my eyes is my eyes. My eyes is telling me Tom Brady and the boys, man, they got it. They got it. And for the NFC, man, I think I'm gonna have to go the Seahawks.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go to Seahawks, because, like Ken said, I think they have a self-awareness and they have a sense of urgency to make sure that they get back, because they may not get back after this one if they make it. Like Ken said, and I think you said as well too, Kyle. They're shopping Richard Sherman. You know what I'm saying? They're in a state of Super Bowl or breakup. And that's just where they are right now. So, I think this is the last one. I think this is the last one, and Russell Wilson better bring it home.
No doubt. What about you, B? Super Bowl, man. Who makes it to Minnesota, man? Out of the AFC and the NFC.
Yeah, that was my pick too, FIFO. I was gonna go repeat the Super Bowl 49. We're gonna have Seahawks and Patriots duke it out again for the rematch, for the crazy why did I throw the ball on the 1 yard line play. I think we're gonna have I definitely think we're gonna be heading towards a rematch of 49. Exactly with FIFO, man. I got Patriots and Seahawks. Seahawks taking the NFC, Patriots taking the AFC, with Patriots and Steelers being the AFC champs, and Seahawks. I got Seahawks and Green Bay in the NFC champs.
Okay. What about you, Ken? How do you see this thing playing out?
Not like them. Not at all.
Of course.
All right. So for the AFC, give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, fully loaded, better secondary.
Wow.
Give me Pittsburgh. I think they're going to get it done. So I like them. In the NFC, hey, man. Hey. Dak attack. Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, baby.
I know it. I knew
Skip Bayless off the phone.
I knew it.
Know Skip Bayless was part of that.
Hey, Skip has infiltrated the camp.
I'm sorry, man. Hey, man. When Zeke come back, he's gonna be pissed off. He's gonna run through everybody, man. I think the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, man. I think they're gonna do it this year. Yep. Dallas, baby.
Oh, God. This guy.
Watch.
Gosh. And I know he didn't pick Dallas last year, but I want to say Ken in one of the previous years, Ken picked Dallas for some reason. I don't know what the connection is, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out probably in the next couple of hours. I ain't gonna say I like. Reluctantly, man, the team in Foxborough, New England, I think comes out of the AFC again. I just don't see anybody getting in their way. I think they lose a couple of games this year. And I've seen, some prognosticators saying that they thought the Patriots would go 16-0. They're not going no damn 16-0. Get the hell out of here. With that being said, I like Pittsburgh to challenge them. I like, maybe Cincinnati, if they can get their head out of their ass, to challenge them. I like the Raiders to challenge them. I like, the Texans and shit. But I don't think, at the end of the day, you give Bill Belichick a week to prepare. They'll have something for you. And, I don't know that anybody in the AFC can beat them. Coming in the NFC, I'm going Green Bay. I'm hooking my pick to the discount double check, man. I think again, now, as I mentioned earlier, I think their defense can be, suspect at times, but I think Rodgers has the capability of putting up enough points. I think if they run the ball, and keep in mind last year, they had issues running the ball because they just didn't have enough running backs. They took one guy from like wide receiver and he was running the ball. But I like Green Bay. I like Green Bay and New England in the Super Bowl. I still don't understand how this guy picked Dallas, but but I digress. Nonetheless, man, it is time for our closing thoughts. This is where we give our final thoughts on whatever, whenever, just a little parting shot as we close out the podcast. So, people, what you got for your final thought?
Man, I can't wait till the NBA season start. We got Lonzo Ball finally opening up his mouth, and he's getting himself in trouble already. So I can't wait to see what's in store. Yeah, man, love the NBA. I'm football's cool, but I'm always been an NBA guy. I'm just ready. I'm ready. James Harden and CP bonding all over the summer. We got Hoodie Mello getting a 98 ready with 2K. Like, I'm just saying, man, I'm just ready. I'm ready for basketball, man. I'm ready.
Now, for those listening, FIFA, when does basketball actually start? Because they tip off in about another month or so.
Yeah, about October. We're gonna start seeing preseason games about October. Okay. So and we're gonna see college basketball pretty soon too. So, ready for Jello Ball. Let's see what he does at UCLA.
Oh Lord.
FIFO, the season kicks off October 17th. Boston and Cleveland is a doubleheader. Boston and Cleveland, and then Houston and Golden State. That's the NBA tip-offs.
And I got something for y'all, too. Y'all probably didn't know. Kyrie's wearing number 11. His dad played for Boston University and got his number 11 retired. Okay. So that's pretty dope.
I was going to ask, was there some type of significance behind that? Because I thought 11 looked kind of weird on him.
It does, but, he's junior.
So why not? Is number 2 retired for the Celtics?
Probably. Every number is retired.
That's a dumb question. You're right. They're the one team that's probably running out of numbers, really, to be honest.
Looking forward to watching Triple G and Canelo Alvarez fight. They fight next Saturday, and my dad is actually going to be in town that weekend too.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing a true boxing match, like I said, I wasn't all excited and hyped about the Mayweather and McGregor fight because I knew how that was going to end. But Canelo and Triple G, man, this is going to be really interesting. This is going to be Canelo never faced power like Triple G, and Triple G's never faced a technical boxer / puncher like Canelo Alvarez. So this because I think Danny Jacobs kind of showed the blueprint a little bit how to kind of slow down and confuse Triple G when he fought him, because he could have had him. I think Danny Jacobs he could have put off the upset. But if I'm Canelo, I'll look at a little bit of film on that and seeing how he can pull his own little spin on it. But yeah, that's definitely gonna be an interesting fight. I got Canelo just by edge winning this fight, but. We never knows, man. Triple G power is something else, and I don't think Canelo has never, ever felt nothing like that before. So it's going to be interesting.
No doubt. Definitely looking forward to that fight. What about you, Ken? What you got for your final thought?
Well, they were beefing last year. Cam, we talked about on this show. Lost his color, lost his way, but he's back, man. He said some favorable things in favor of Colin Kaepernick, and he basically came out and said that it's unfair that Colin Kaepernick isn't on a team, and that he's better than a lot of the quarterbacks in the league. So I just want to give that brother, his due, man, for sticking up for another brother, and probably coming to the realization after last year that he is indeed black, and that it's not going to go away. So salute to Cam Newton. Welcome back, my brother. Welcome back.
Oh, man, that's funny, Ken. That's funny. And actually a perfect segue. My final thought, man, takes it to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. As many of you listening know, or maybe you don't know, I am the proud product of an HBCU, South Carolina State University. I played football there. And we've talked about on this podcast several, on different occasions about how sometimes HBCUs have to play these bigger schools to get a check. Well, the HBCU that is located in our nation's capital, a school by the name of Howard University, had to play a game. They played a game this past Saturday, and they were playing against a bigger school, and the check was for $600,000. Now, we've seen situations where schools like my alma mater last year played Clemson and got beat 59-0. We saw in situations where a school like FAMU a couple of years ago played, I think it was Ohio State, and they lost like 84-7 or something like that. Well, Howard goes out to UNLV to play them, and they are a 45-point underdog. And a strange thing happens. Howard actually beat UNLV. This became the biggest, based on point spread, the biggest upset in NCAA football history. And they won 43-40. And again, because of the point spread, it was the largest, the greatest victory for any school as far as the HBCU. If you bet $100 on Howard that night, you would have won $55,000. So where it ties into what Ken just said is the quarterback for Howard is a guy by the name of Kalen Newton, and that is the younger brother of Cam Newton. So allow me to give a big shout out, even though I really don't like Howard because they're our rival, but a big shout out and a big, much respect to Howard University for going out to UNLV and getting the win, and let it serve notice to other schools that just because they're willing to pay you a check to come play means that you should actually come to play. And Howard did. Congrats to Howard for getting the win. A win for them is a win for all HBCU schools, and we definitely appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for checking out another edition of the Dead End Sports Podcast. For my man FIFO, for B, for Ken, I'm your host, 12 Kyle. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
See ya.
Boom.
boom, 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 boom,